Hello, my name is Scott Luna with Breakaway Seminar, and I am going to walk you through right now our bonus plan, our whole bonus system on how we align the financial interests of our dental team members in the practice with what our goals are as an owner of the practice. And so this bonus plan, I'll be honest with you, I've used lots of bonus plans in the past that gave me maybe temporary results or never even worked. And this bonus plan we've been using for the last 9 years, and it's been extremely successful for us in aligning everyone's interests. It's produced long-term results. It's become a culture of our organization. So I'm excited to go over this with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first talk about why we want a bonus plan and what are some of the aspects of a successful bonus plan, some of the laws we shouldn't break when we build this thing. And then I'm going to walk you through the math and how do we come up with this and how do we set the goals and what ultimately happens financially. All right, so those are the two kind of sections to this video. All right, so let me start first with the first section, why? Why a bonus plan? What we found is that in a dental practice, the day gets busy. And in the ups and downs of the day, there are opportunities for everyone in their own individual way to step up, to step on the gas, to knock something out that's good for the practice, that's good for the patient. But if it's really busy, they may not necessarily do that. For example, let's say a hygienist is running slightly behind and a patient needs sealants. Is she going to step up and just get those sealants done today or not? A bonus plan helps align her and give her the added reason to go ahead and step up and do those sealants that the patient needs, do them today. Even if it means a little added stress in the day, let's step on the gas, let's get it done, and let's incentivize our hygienist to act that way. And of course, we all have these types of things in a dental practice. Dental assistants have things, front office people, the receptionist, the treatment coordinator. We all have these moments during the day where with proper financial alignment, we can get an added level of performance from our team. Now also, why something else on a bonus? As you'll see, our bonus system is a two-tier system. What I mean by that is, did we hit the office goal, yes or no? And then did we hit our own personal goal, yes or no? We have to have two yeses for someone to get a bonus. So the office has to hit a goal and the person has to hit their own goal. If both of those happen, that person gets a bonus. So what that does is it not only aligns the person with the office's goal, but it also gets them focused on their core objective, their core goal, the personal goal that they have. And I'll walk you through some of these personal goals, but imagine you could find one important thing for someone to be focused on. For example, a treatment coordinator. One important thing for them to be focused on, or a receptionist, or a hygienist, or a dental assistant. And they are focused on that thing and they know that they have to hit their own goal as well as help the office hit the overall office goal. This type of bonus system aligns everyone financially with the office's goals while also making sure they focus on their own personal goals, their own personal objectives. All right? A few more things on a good bonus system before we get into the math. A good bonus system, we believe, should be paid out weekly, a weekly bonus, not a yearly, not a quarterly, not a monthly. The problem with yearly, quarterly, monthly is that people really only think about it at the end of the quarter or at the end of the month. They don't think about it every day. And so if we pay a monthly bonus, they just think about it at the end of the month. And so it's not really driving a change in behavior until maybe towards the end of the month. We believe weekly is best. when we pay it out weekly, they think about it all week. And so it does change behavior. It does drive a different set of decisions that they're making because they are used to, it's part of culture now, that there is every week a bonus opportunity. Now, the reason why we don't pay it out daily, by the way, is because dental team members, you can imagine some bad actors, they could artificially inflate one day's schedule to hit some major big daily goal only for us to lose money the rest of the week. So, that's not what we want either. So a weekly payout, a weekly calculation is the best balance between this kind of constant thinking about it versus manipulative actions by the team to artificially inflate the numbers. All right, so we paid out weekly. Also, another thing is that we focus a bonus based on financial goals and specifically production goals, not collection goals, which might sound a little different, but production goals. And the reason for that is that we want immediate gratification, meaning if the team worked really hard to have a big week and we produced a ton and we squeezed and stretched and worked hard and did everything we can to hit goal this week, we want to pay a bonus this week. If they produced a lot and worked hard right now, we want them to get their bonus right now, immediate gratification. If we instead pay bonus based on collections, then it is kind of spread out and diluted over the next 2 months based on when those collections come in, and therefore it detaches this immediate gratification. It breaks it up. We work really hard this week. We don't necessarily even get a big bonus this week. And that's not what we want. We want immediate gratification. We want people to connect, working hard and achieving with the financial incentive immediately. So we pay it out according to production, and we pay it out weekly. Now, let me define production. Production is adjusted production or collectible production. So it is not a UCR fee. If we are in network with MetLife and our normal $1,100 crown fee gets dropped down to an $800 fee in network, then production for that crown, that MetLife patient, is $800. It's collectible production. It's not fantasy production of UCR. So adjusted production, all the typical adjustments taken off of the production to end up with our collectible production. That adjusted production, that is what we're basing the bonus system on. Okay. Another thing is that we do not want to create a bonus system that pays out a bonus while the business loses money. I know that might sound like common sense, but there's a lot of different bonus plans out there, grab bag type plans, and just arbitrary bonuses. And we want to make sure that when we create a bonus system, we put it together in a way where we only pay out if the business actually has profit. I've paid bonuses while losing money. That's also not what we want to do. So it's got to be paid out only when we make profit. It's based on adjusted production, and it's paid out weekly. And then finally, another thing to add to this is that we want to make sure that after paying our team members' salaries and taxes and benefits, and after paying the bonuses, we do not want to have an unbalanced profit and loss statement. What I mean by that is if we typically want to see our team members' salaries and benefits and everything add up to 25% of our yearly collections, then we need to make sure we maintain that after we put in a bonus system. We don't want the bonus system to be so large that we are now unbalanced in our profitability. Okay? So there's some general rules of thumb. So now let me dive in and talk to you about this specific bonus system in the math. All right, so I'm going to show you some slides here, and I'm going to start out kind of walking you through all the math. It's going to sound a little complicated, only because I'm explaining every little piece, but once it's all said and done, this bonus system is going to be very simple. And that's also another key, actually. The bonus system has to be simple. When it becomes too complicated, team members lose sight of how their daily decisions and their actions influence the bonus. So we have to have a simplistic bonus system. All right, so let's start here. Let's start with the math. All right, so as you can see on this slide, the first line says, what must we collect per month to break even? 3-month rolling. What does that mean? What must we collect? So I'm talking about collections right now. Per month to break even. Break even point. What is that? A break even point is basically all the expenses we have to pay every month. I'm talking about utilities, I'm talking about supplies, rent, advertising, our team members' pay, everything we have to pay. Every expense we have as a business. And this includes the doctor's salary. A reasonable salary for the dentist is part of the break-even point. All right, so let me read this again. What must we collect every month to pay all the bills, right? To break even, which includes the doctor's salary. And then you see in parentheses 3-month rolling. What does that mean? That means we're going to look at the break-even point and we are going to take a 3-month rolling average. So if today is April, then we will look at the last 3 months. What was the break-even point in January? What was in February? What was in March? And average that. And that is going to be the first number we use in this calculation. The last 3 months average break-even point. Now the reason why we use a 3-month average is because we don't want an unusual month skewing our goals. Meaning if we were closed half the month for vacation, we don't want that skewing things. Or if we suddenly spend a lot of money on a one-time thing, we don't want that skewing our formula too much. So by using a 3-month rolling average, we are getting a very clean, kind of healthy, predictable number. All right, so again, that first line, what must we collect per month to break even? We're going to take the last 3 months, break-even points, average them, and we're going to get a number. And as you can see on this slide, I use the arbitrary number for this fake practice, this example practice. I use $60,000. So if we collect 60 grand, we'll be able to pay all of our bills, including the doctor's salary. All right, now I am going to take this collection monthly number, and I'm going to eventually end up with a production weekly number. All right, so let's walk through that math. Collection monthly number, 60 grand. We're now going to divide that by 4 weeks. We end up with 15,000 collections a week to pay our bills. Then we are going to add a profit margin to that number. What that means is I'm adding a buffer of profit so that I never accidentally pay a bonus while losing money. All right, so I'm adding a 10% profit buffer, which brings me to 16,500. All right, so let me pause here and let's look at what we got so far. If we collect 16,500 a week, we will end up being able to pay all of our bills, including the doctor's salary, and we'll still be left with a 10% buffer of profit. All right, so we're almost there. We're almost done with the math here. So now we're going to take that 16,500, which is a collection number, and now I need to convert that to a production number. And so how I convert it is by looking at the office's collection rate. What is a collection rate? Well, if you have ever heard someone say, we collect 97% of what we produce, that's the collection rate. We collect 97% of what we produce. Our collection rate's 97%. So in this example, I'm going to take that 16,500 number and I'm going to divide it by 0.97. Not multiply it, but divide it by 0.97, and I end up getting this one number that I'm looking for. I get 17,000. What is 17,000? It is what we have to produce per week in order to collect enough money to pay all of our bills and have a buffer of profit. We got to produce 17 grand a week, and if we do, we'll end up collecting about 16,500, which pays all of our bills and gives us a buffer of profit. So this slide was all the math, and the team doesn't even see this slide. This is just for you, the owner, to try to calculate that one number. So 17,000 is the number. We're going to take now that one number that we calculated, and now we are going to have the bonus plan. So this is what the team's going to see. On the slide, you can see it. We've got small, medium, large bonus. These are weekly bonuses, right? Small, medium, and large. And then you can see what we're going to have to produce as an office to have a small, medium, or large bonus be possible. And then you can see how much money a person would get if they became eligible if we achieved the bonus. So if we hit a small bonus, they'd get $20 for the week. If we hit a medium bonus, they get $60. If we hit a large bonus, they get $120 for the week. All right, so let's talk about this for a second. So small, medium, large, for sure, leave it that way. Small, medium, large. The next column, the weekly production. How did we come up with those numbers? Well, you know where we came up with 17,000. All right, we just did all that math. The ranges that we then created after that are based on kind of a balance between paying out bonuses to all the team members we have and still maintaining a 25% staff costs line item on our profit and loss statement. So this is something, these second and third columns, the weekly production column and the bonus amount column, those columns you're going to have to calculate yourself by hand based on how many team members you have, and if you were to pay all these team members out bonuses, then how much would you have had to produce and collect to still have a balanced P&L? So the less team members you have, the easier it would be to achieve bonus, potentially. The more team members you have, the larger the numbers need to be to achieve bonus, because you might have to pay, 15 people $60, right? So you're going to have to calculate this based on your profit and loss statement. If for some reason you don't want to, or you feel like you can't calculate these numbers, this is where you talk to your bookkeeper and accountant, and they'd easily be able to kind of give you a range like this that would make sense for your profit and loss statement. All right, so your job is to build this chart. All right, I showed you all the math to get the first number. After that, you need to select the ranges for small, medium, large on the production side, and how much you would pay out on the bonus side. And we use these, 20, 60, and $120. We find that those are good numbers. All right, we've used more in the past, we've used less. We like these numbers, but by no means would you even have to stop at this. The reality is, even if you're paying out $400 to someone for a bonus, if you build the chart correctly, the company's making money. All right, it's worth it. So it's a beautiful thing. You are rooting for everyone to hit the biggest possible bonus they can hit, because everyone wins when that happens. All right, so there's the chart. This is what the team sees. So team, for the month of April, these are the bonus goals. All right, and then let's say April's over. Now we're going to have to calculate May's goals. And so we're going to go back to the last 3 months rolling average of the break-even points, and we're going to do the simple calculation that we did on the previous slide, and then we're going to release May's goals. So every month, these goals will slightly change as our break-even point goes up and down. All right, let's keep on going now. So earlier I had told you this is a two-part bonus plan. Did we hit our office goal, yes or no? And did we hit our individual goal? Yes or no? Right? So far, I've talked to you about how to handle the office goal. Now we need to talk about the really powerful thing, the individual goal. What we're going to do is we are going to assign everyone their individual goals based on their job title. So a hygienist will have a hygienist individual goal. A receptionist will have a receptionist goal. A treatment coordinator will have a treatment coordinator goal, so forth. We are going to select a specific goal for each job title for that week. And so if that hygienist hits her own goal and the office hit the office goal, then the hygienist is eligible to receive the bonus. All right? So what are some of these goals? Well, here's an example. If you look at this next slide, here's an example. So treatment coordinator, we might have a goal of 65% case acceptance. Or an insurance coordinator, might be a days of sales outstanding goal. Scheduler can be a conversion rate on the phone. Hygienist can be a reappointment rate for reappointing hygiene patients. Dental assistants can be an online review goal, which is actually really effective. It doesn't necessarily matter too much what these goals are. Your office may not want your hygienist on a reappointment goal and may want them on some other arbitrary goal. Or your dental assistant, you may say, let me put them on staying on a budget for dental supplies goal. It doesn't really matter. You have to select what you think for your practice would be a great goal for each of these people to focus on. And then that becomes their goal. So in this example, if the treatment coordinator, let me start over. In this example, if the office surpassed the office goal, perfect. Now we look at all the people who surpassed their individual goals. If the treatment coordinator got 70% case acceptance, congratulations, bonus. Insurance coordinator was at 20 days of sales outstanding, congratulations, bonus. Scheduler was at 52% phone conversion rate, better luck next time, no bonus. Hygienist was at 92% reappointment rate, congratulations, bonus. And that's how it goes every week. Every week we get together, we're happy, hooray, it's a bonus time, and we say, did the office hit our goal? Yes, our goal was 17,000. We produced 23,000 this week. Woohoo! Yes, we hit our office goal. Now we go around the room to each person's individual goal, and if they hit their goal, they get a bonus, and if they did not hit their goal, they do not get a bonus. So this becomes very effective because now everyone's focused on the office's goal, and everyone is highly focused on their own individual goal. Because number one, they want to be able to be eligible for the bonus, and number two, they also, in front of their colleagues, want to be able to say they did achieve their goal. They don't want to kind of lose in front of their colleagues, they want to win. And when we put this in place, what you see is the really high performers in the practice. They take this and they just run with it. They do so well. They are just producing excellent work every day to a high level. And then if you look at the other people, maybe not the top performers, but kind of the middle or lower performers, sometimes they get a little indifferent and they don't grow with the practice and they don't really try. And what happens is over time, you see the separation of your really good quality people from the people that aren't really caring. And ultimately, you as an owner of the practice can know who you should focus on either training, on leading better, on trying to motivate, or heaven forbid, even replacing someone, right? But this is a great way to have the top performers really shine. And then you can see who they are, who the top performers are. All right, so let me kind of review all this once more and sum it up. We will have a bonus system that is calculated weekly, and it's based on adjusted production. And we've set it up so where there's there's two goals. It's a two-goal system. Did the office hit the goal, yes or no? And did the person hit their own goal, yes or no? We have to have two yeses for someone to get a bonus. We never pay out a bonus until we make money as a business. So that is why we use the break-even point as the first number in our formula. We went through the calculation. We figured out what our weekly goal should be. We created a simple chart with a small, medium, and large bonus. And then we created a list of individual goals. When we put this all together, the top performers shine. All right, we're all aligned. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that alignment on my next slide here. Alignment. Let's talk about the first one, expenses. If the team is able to lower your practice's expenses, meaning they save money on gloves, on other dental supplies, on other things in the office, if they're able to save money, what ends up happening is your break-even point goes down. Your expenses are less, right? So your break-even point goes down. So if they figure out ways to save money in the practice and the break-even point therefore goes down, that means their bonus goals get easier. Their bonus goals go down. So if you think back to the formula, the entire formula starts with what's the break-even point. And if they can make that break-even point go down, their bonus just got easier to hit. So we have aligned the team to try to reduce expenses. Also, there's a flip side to that. If we increase our expenses, the bonus gets harder. If we hire yet another person, our break-even point goes up. If we waste money on supplies, our break-even point goes up. So the team is aligned to not waste money, but instead save money. That's great. Next thing, production. The team is aligned to produce more. Obviously, we are trying to hit adjusted production goals every week, so the team is focused on stepping on the gas and knocking out those extra tasks it takes to get more production. So do those sealants even if you're running a few minutes behind, or make those phone calls to fill the hygiene schedule, or really focus on following up on unscheduled treatment to see if we can bring people in, right? All those things that raise production, the team is incentivized, financially aligned to do those things. And then of course, the individual goals. The team is incentivized to also do their individual thing correctly, to do it great. The one thing that you have said is important for them to do, they are focused on that one thing. All right, so that's the bonus plan to sum up, and it works extremely well. Now, if you have questions about this, you don't understand what days of sales outstanding is or conversion rate on the phone, how to even calculate some of these things, I imagine there's some of you that don't know these things because you haven't been through our business seminars. So what may seem like common knowledge to me, you may not understand. So we'd be happy to try to help answer some of your questions for you if you have some. If you would like, of course, to understand a lot more about the business side of dentistry, we have a list of courses on this website. And each one of those courses, we go through manuals this thick, 300-400 pages long of exactly how to do things like metrics, profitability, team management, phones, hygiene, financial presentation, outsourcing, scheduling, accounts receivables, marketing. I mean, just drivers of growth. It's a pretty deep thing. So if you feel like you're ready for an elevated level of knowledge and want to go through kind of an intense 2-day experience, then please reach out to us. I don't believe that there's anyone out there that condenses all of this valuable information into a high ROI 2-day seminar like we do. So I'd love to see you there. If you're mentally ready to be elevated in how you run a business and what decisions you're making about building profitability and net worth and reducing stresses and building predictability. I mean, there's so many benefits that come to running a better company. All right? Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the future. Bye-bye.